What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at 21 balance changes which are due to hit the game with a maintenance tomorrow. So we haven't actually got the updated dev build to show you guys the stats, but I'll walk you guys through it with it on screen as well. So there's going to be some big buffs, some big nerfs, especially buffs to Bonnie, and a nerf to begin with Lumi. So Lumi's HP is going from 6,000 to 5,600, which is a 7% nerf, which isn't going to be a lot, to be honest. I mean, she will be pretty squishy, but I don't think it's really going to stop her. And then her gadget, the mini lose supers, the cooldown is going from 18 seconds to 22 seconds. So a big 4-second nerf there. Me, to be honest, I don't think it's going to touch Lumi whatsoever. I still think easily she's going to be an S tier brawler, mainly because they didn't nerf her star power, which slowed people for 2 seconds, which is insane. The B is receiving another nerf, and it's going to be another nerf to her Rattled Hive gadget cooldown. So her gadget cooldown right now, it's 20 seconds. It's going to be nerfed to 24 seconds. So a 4-second nerf. This is definitely warranted because B is still pretty much an S tier brawler in the meta. You could spam this gadget out like crazy and just get infinite values. So I'm glad they've changed this, and you shouldn't just be able to win your mid interaction through spamming the green button. A really welcome change. So we have another nerf with Ollie. So Ollie's base HP is going from 11,200 to 10,600. So only a 600 HP nerf. It's definitely warranted. 5% nerf though. It's not really going to do a lot to him. I still anticipate him being one of the best brawlers in the game, and he also got that secret balance change as well, if you guys missed it, where he can move his super. So already he got a slight buff. I think it's going to be fine. He's still going to be S tier. Next up, we have a nerf with Carl. So his heat ejector gadget damage is getting nerfed per hit. So right now it deals 740 damage per tick for 7 seconds, I believe, and that's going to go down to 600 damage per tick. So that's like a 20% nerf, but that's, to me, that's not really going to do a whole lot, because when you consider it, when you hit someone with the pickaxe as well, that's going to go from 8,100 damage, so nearly one shot in every brawl in the game, to 7,160. So really, you're only taking away 1,000 damage. I think it's not going to do a lot. I think they needed probably to nerf it, maybe in cooldown duration as well. Next up on the nerf list, we have Buster. So his base HP is going from 10,000 to 9,600. So again, Buster is receiving these small nerfs that he seems to always get with his damage, supercharge rate, etc. So it's going to be a 4% nerf. I swear Buster has to be one of the most nerfed brawlers in the history of Brawl Stars, and he still seems to be really good. Again, I don't think it's going to impact him a lot. The main reason why he's rose to the meta is because the fact that he can charge his hypercharge through standing with your teammates. That's the biggest problem. He's still going to be a force to be reckoned with. Next up, we have a nerf with Chester. So his hypercharge rate is getting nerfed again. Right now, it takes about 3.3 supers to fully charge up his hypercharge super, and that's now going to be nerfed to 4 supers. So a 20% nerf. Again, I don't think this is going to do like the biggest thing, because when you think about it with Chester, the biggest problem for me absolutely has to be the amount of damage his hypercharge super does, and it can literally equal team wipes, especially if you land it onto one person. You can see here, and then I hit another shot, I throw it onto another person. So many times I'm just getting team wipes through the pure damage the hypercharge does. So I still think Chester is going to be one of the best brawlers in the game. So Meeple is next on the nerf list. His main attack damage is going from 2,600 to 2,400, so only a 200 damage nerf, but this is an 8% nerf. I think it's definitely going to impact Meeple a lot. He's going to go from one of the best brawlers in the game to probably like a B tier brawler in the game, because again, that damage nerf is going to impact him a lot. He's got a very low reload speed, but again, he's going to go in that underrated period, because before the buffs, he was actually pretty decent and people didn't realize. Next up on the nerf list, we have Angelo. So his Master Fletcher gadget is receiving a cooldown nerf from 14 seconds to 18 seconds. So a 4-second nerf, which is definitely needed. To be honest, I would have liked another nerf, just slightly nerfing the damage through this, because when you think about it, still the gadget is very strong, although most people won't actually use it. The pros do use it and abuse it a lot, because let's face it, a 4k shot for a wall is insane. Probably nerfing this to around even like 400 less damage would have been sufficient, but still 4-second nerf to this gadget is pretty good. Next up on the nerf list, we have it Gray. So he's receiving another nerf, and it's another nerf to his cooldown for Walking Cane. Right now it is 20 seconds. It'll be a little bit shorter because I am using the cooldown gear as I always do with him, but that's going to be a nerf from 20 seconds to 23 seconds, so a 3-second nerf. I think this is definitely warranted. And then you've actually got to consider as well with Gray, he actually got a slight buff as well with his walking cane. So I'll show you again if you missed it briefly. With his walking cane, you can now actually aim it. Before you couldn't aim it. So technically he received a buff. So if anything, I don't think it's really going to impact him. An extra 3 seconds for his walking cane, that's not going to do anything. Next up with a nerf list, we have Mandy. So Mandy's hypercharge rate is going from needing 2.5 supers to fully charge up to like 2.8. But obviously Mandy can't charge up 2.8 of her supers. She charges up 2.75. So basically she just needs one more shot to get a hypercharge. I don't think this is really that good of a nerf when you think about it. Personally, I'd have liked it to be like 3.25 supers to get, you know, like a substantial, maybe even an extra super to get. But let's face it, because once you get this hypercharge super, you can just evaporate everything on the map. So one extra hit is all that's needed for this hypercharge super. I don't think it's really going to impact her whatsoever. Next on the nerf list, we have Stu. So Stu's hypercharge rate, they actually didn't really include the numbers that well, to be honest. I think what I can judge from the numbers, it's going to be a 33% hypercharge rate nerf. So with Stu, typically, I don't even know the complete calculations with his hypercharge, but it takes a long while to get. But normally in a game, you would definitely against a control composition get like 1, maybe 2 hypercharge supers. Against like a composition with tanks in, you'd probably get about 3 or maybe even 4 hypercharge supers in a game. So it's going to be nerfed by 33%, I believe. So this is going to impact him quite a fair bit, to be honest. He was one of the most picked brawlers in monthly finals. I still think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with because they didn't really nerf anything else about him, but definitely a nice nerf. Jumping into the final nerf with the update, it is Byron and his booster shots gadget. The cooldown is going from 14 seconds to 18 seconds. So for me, I don't know, because I think the gadget was toxic, right? But Byron has not been good in the meta. He was just basically not played in monthly finals. So I get the nerf with a gadget. I would have actually liked this probably like earlier on in the past updates, but now we have it. At least he probably will receive some type of buff pretty soon, I believe, or maybe a really good hypercharge. But yeah, unfortunate for Byron Reigns. He's going to be suffering even more and probably be going down to the C tier maybe even. Okay, so now we're going to be moving on to the buffs coming with the balance changes and the update tomorrow. So the first one is going to be with Willow's HP. Her base HP is going from 5,600 to 6,200. So that's a substantial buff to her HP, by the way. 11% buff, which is going to be huge. Willow, I wouldn't even say she's underrated. She was just not good whatsoever. Probably played once in the last 3-4 months in monthly finals. And this is definitely needed. I don't think it's going to be enough to like catapult her to the top of the meta. It's just going to make her more of a viable pick in terms of maps like Super Beach, etc. I still don't think it's going to be enough. I think the hypercharge will be the reason why she becomes meta again. This is just a small buff. Next up on the buff list, we have Jessie. So her base HP is going from 6,000 health to 6,200. This is only a 200 HP buff, a 3% buff, which is not going to do anything to Jessie. She has been needing this type of, well, just any type of buff for about 4 months, maybe even 6 months now. She's fallen off a lot in the competitive meta. I don't think it's going to do anything for her. She's going to remain in the D tier. Now we're going to be moving on to the biggest change with these balance changes, and that is with Bonnie. You guys will be glad to hear. So when you jump in now with Bonnie, you know, right now in this current form, you don't get your super back, and just look how long it takes you to charge it back up. Even with damage dealt, you just take forever to get back into cannon form. But now when you jump in, you automatically get your super back. So you can go from cannon form, you can jump in, and then immediately after you get the kill, or just literally you can just go straight away back into cannon form. And that is perfect. So just think of Mo and how Mo is, guys. Mo, you're going to super in with your drill, and then straight away out of drill form, you got to kill, etc. You can go back into your Mo form. The same is with Bonnie, the exact same brawler now. This is a very welcome change. I think she's going to be clearly at least A tier. Going to get a buff with Crow, so I can't really show this in game, but as you can see in these stats, some people might not even know this about Crow, but he has a healing reduction with his main attack. It is 40%. It's getting buffed from 40% to 60%, so overall a 50% buff when you think about it. I think this is a great change, especially when I did my balance change video. I was thinking of how to buff Crow and not make him too toxic. This is the perfect way because now he can probably counter Poco, Berry, healer compositions. This is a great change. Next up on the buff list, we have Miko. So he's receiving a buff to his reload speed. This could be pretty scary, guys. It's an 8% buff. So it's going from 2,600 to 2,400 in numbers. Again, this is huge because you think about it with Miko, his attack is obviously it deals damage, but it's for his movement mobility as well. So just juking with every single attack could be a big problem. A lot of people were scared about that upon Miko's release. I think Miko will be a really good counter pick option. He's going to be one of the more underrated buffs in my opinion. So next up on the buff list, we have Meg. So Meg in her smaller form, the movement speed is going from fast movement speed to very fast. So the reason why they've done this is just it's going to help Meg survive against those annoying brawlers chasing her down. It's going to allow her to just roam around the map, charge up her mech form a lot more effectively. They didn't want to touch her mech form because that just makes her too toxic in the past. I like this change. I feel that should only go up like 1 tier though. Okay guys, so going into the final balance changes for this set coming tomorrow, we have Pam, and finally she's receiving some buffs, guys. Finally she's receiving 2 of them. So the first one is with her main attack damage. Right now it deals 520 per bullet. It's going to get buffed all the way up to 600. That is a 15% damage buff. Wow, I really think with this type of buff, I honestly could see Pam being in an A, or I think S tier. I'm actually going to predict S tier with Pam. You guys might think I'm deluded, especially without a hypercharge, but a 15% damage buff is absolutely insane. The amount of damage she's going to burst up close is just crazy. And then on top of this, you get a super charge rate buff as well because you're dealing more damage, which I don't know the complete numbers, but I'm going to guess around like 15% extra supers as well. So she's going to be farming more supers, more survivability, more damage. What is there not to like about this? I really think she's going to be excellent. So Bonnie and Pam stocks are going to go through the roof right now. But that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to do a video tomorrow testing out the balance changes and live stream, so make sure to check that out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.